This is the Two Dudes Week in Review Top 5 podcast. Check out video versions of this podcast on our website at Two Dudes Reviews. That's DOODS Reviews.com. And now, here's the dudes.
Oh, man, though it's been a bit. Welcome back to our Week in Review Top 5. And this particular episode, Andy and my son Caleb has joined us, by the way, today.
Wait, this is Andy and Jay with Two Dudes Reviews?
Yes, pretty much. I mean, the whole intro kind of set that all up.
I don't know that it did.
You didn't hear it.
Oh, I missed it.
So listen, we're going to make you feel old with a list of items that a bunch of kids around my son's age, from about 8 until my son's age, they were shown pictures of items, and these kids had no idea what the hell they were looking at. And these are things that you and I, at 40 years old, kind of grew up with. Think floppy disk as an example, right?
Floppy disk. I don't want to know about floppy disk. But I will tell you, millennial kid at work today. Yeah. We're showing a video. We're doing some stuff with Aaron Hagar, Sammy Hagar's son.
Sammy Hagar's son, sure, yeah.
Aaron's a cool cat. I like the guy a lot. But he was like, who is that guy? And we're like, well, that's Sammy Hagar's son. And he's like, who's Sammy Hagar?
Oh, my God.
We were all laughing at him.
Plus, what the Golden State Killer's neighbors had to say about him.
Ooh, really?
Which is interesting, right? Why Sports Car Andy here has SUV envy today. And what's in Andy's ear? Plus, things we only do on the weekend, at least a lot of us. I kind of disagree with this list that I found. They gave some suggestions. I kind of disagree. That we don't tend to do during the regular work week. But first, this is something jacked up.
Jave's jacked up story of the week.
So get this. A Florida woman says she was awoken at 2 a.m., 2 o'clock in the morning. Something outside the window. Kind of sounded like an animal maybe outside of her patio. And she's in Florida, right? So there are alligators and crazy stuff that sometimes roam outside the window. Turns out she wasn't completely wrong, although there wasn't a bear, there wasn't an alligator, there wasn't a snake. When I saw bear, I went, really? No, there are bears in Florida, believe it or not.
Did you read the story, by the way, this week? About the guy who got bit.
Yes, by a shark.
A snake, and a bear within 4 years. Okay, anyway.
So there's a random man, not that guy who was bit by all three things, but a random dude sprawled out naked, pleasuring himself in the front yard. Wow. That's what she heard.
Caleb, were you in Florida last week?
Hey. Oh, snap. Oh. Double snap.
Hey, Caleb, welcome to the show.
Welcome. Thank you.
So the woman...
I was there. Appropriate response.
So the woman called police. She reported to hearing moaning while committing the disgusting act. She said that this dude had massage oil all over him and a sex toy, too. Police arrived. 30-year-old Christopher Worrell, completely naked out in the front yard. By the way, Worrell refused to answer officers' questions. He was arrested for lewd and lascivious behavior.
Lewd and lascivious. Nice.
Andy's Oddity of the Week.
A Greek restaurant in Baltimore says business has been on fire.
No, that's good. That's a good sign.
Ever since its most important and popular dish almost burned down the restaurant.
Oh, so the whole place almost burned to the ground.
It's been literally on fire, right?
Wait, let me guess. Dessert, Flaming Alaska?
No. Is that Flaming Alaska?
Yeah, that's what it's called.
Is that really? No. Alaska. Baked Alaska.
Baked Alaska.
It's Baked Alaska. So you were close.
It's like looks like a volcano.
Well, yeah, but this is a Greek restaurant, and they ordered a saganaki. It's a cheese dish that's set on fire.
I was going to say, it sounds like a baklava that they throw some...
baklava with rum, maybe.
Or
ouzo.
Ouzo. There you go. Yeah, the licorice.
Dude, I love ouzo.
Sorry, we digress.
Anyway, they ordered a saganaki, which is cheese. It's set on fire as it's brought to the table.
Nice.
And the name of the restaurant is Kava Metse.
All right.
And it's their most popular app. So the party ordered 4 of them.
Okay, I was going to say, this restaurant, I'm sure, does a lot of these. It's the most popular app.
It's got to be the most popular. But they ordered 4 of them. 4 of them. So it was obviously a big party, right? Yeah. And the flames were really dramatic, apparently, and it made for an exciting presentation. Especially when they set off the sprinkler system in the restaurant, right? And then the thing about a sprinkler system, it sprays flame retardant everywhere. So now all of the patrons in the restaurant are covered in this flame retardant, right?
I'm surprised.
Can you imagine that?
The place hasn't been sued yet because, the ladies are going to be wearing their finest Saturday evening gowns,
right? Yeah. Well, one diner actually captured the moment on video.
Oh, wow.
And so I would imagine there might be a video maybe on YouTube or something like that.
If we find it, we will throw it up at twodudesreviews.com.
There you go, shameless plug for the website. I like it. And the owner of Cava Mezze says they also preach safety when serving the flaming dish, and this was the first time it ever set off the sprinklers.
Wow.
But they add that ever since it's happened, more and more people have coming in to order it.
Wow.
So I wonder if we have a Greek restaurant here in Reno where we can go order a saganaki, right? I don't know. We'll have to look that up.
I want to find it.
Okay.
Number 5.
All right, so number 5, and I'm going to bring Caleb here in for this. So Caleb, feel free to chime in, all right? Listen, if you weren't convinced that you were an old person before, like we are, this should pretty much seal it. Yeah, you, Andy, you. Oh. You and the women in the kitchen right now.
Okay.
Survey.
Not you, Jay.
Not me.
Shut up.
Yeah, come on, man. I work in the rock industry. I'm a rock and roller. I'm a rock star. Sorry.
Rock star wannabe.
So a survey showed pictures of old technology to kids between the ages of 6 and 18. My son is going to be 17 coming up here in July. So you're right. You're right in the target zone, Caleb. And then ask the kids what the hell they were looking at. Now, unfortunately, I don't have the pictures to show Caleb here. But I'm just going to ask you if you've seen pictures of these things and could you describe what they look like, right? Because if you can't describe what they look like, then he's full of shit.
He's full of it, right? He's full of
it. Here are the results, which I now serve you with a side of Metamucil.
Oh, side of Metamucil, okay.
At number 10, Caleb, do you know what a rotary phone looks like? And explain that.
It's like a phone with the spiral dial thing.
Okay, the spiral dial. All right, we got that.
Okay, rotary phone, yeah.
And most of the kids knew this one. 5% didn't know. It gets better. A disposable camera. Do you know what the hell that is?
It's one of those cameras that it's kind of like what you get inside of a Walgreens or anything like that.
Okay.
A little
camera
box
that you take a couple pictures and then throw it away, save the film for later.
Okay, well, actually, you throw the whole damn camera into the developer, right? They're made out of cardboard.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Okay, 9% of kids didn't know what that was.
Right, okay.
Picture of a postcard, which I thought was weird.
Of course I know what a postcard is.
Yeah, 23%. So almost a quarter of the kids who were shown a postcard had no idea what the hell they were looking at.
Really?
Which is bizarre to me. Okay, a record player.
Of course I know what a record player is.
He's a music guy.
Your dad's a flippin' DJ.
Yeah, about a quarter.
You better know what a goddamn record player is.
About a quarter of the kids who saw a picture of a record player had no idea what they were looking at.
You like that? I'm practicing my political correctness by not cursing on the air.
Well, thank you. Now, leave that to Dad.
Yeah, whatever.
How about a typewriter?
Of course.
What does a typewriter look like?
It's huge, bulky, has a bunch of those little over protruding buttons that you click.
Okay, all right. Over protruding.
The keyboard.
Well, you've been in your dad's office. He still uses one of those things, right? Okay. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Because
sorry, we don't have the sound effects. We're cheap.
Jake talks shit about not being old, but he's old.
Hey, watch the language, man. I got a kid here.
Yeah, whatever.
Okay, what about a videotape?
Videotape.
Do
you know what Betamax is?
No.
No, flippin' clue. Pull out the old shit, baby. Betamax.
Okay, it was about 6 inches by about 4 inches, right? Right. Like this big that you used to have to watch your movies on, and it took forever to rewind the thing.
Oh my gosh! And there were rewind fees at Blockbuster. Remember that?
Yes.
You rented a video, and you put the video in the machine, and it was a tape that played.
It's not a VCR, is it?
Yeah,
VCR tape.
Okay, there you go.
You've seen them. They're in the box out in the garage.
We used to watch them.
Yeah, the box out in the garage. Your dad still has them.
But if you took one of these videos back to Blockbuster and put it back in the slot without rewinding it, they charge you a fee.
They charge you extra, yeah.
Okay, what about this? A cassette.
Yes.
Cassette tape.
What's a cassette tape?
It's like clear box. It's like 4x4.
Not square.
Small.
No, not square.
It's about 5x3 rectangle.
It's a rectangle. Square rectangle.
Yeah.
It's a rectangle. It's got the little white spiral thing.
Oh, the little white spiral thing.
All right.
Points for that.
And how would you...
How are you doing in geometry class right now, by the way? Square and rectangle? I'm just kind of wondering.
Rectangle.
And if for some reason your cassette player started eating your tape...
What did you do?
And you took the tape out, what did you do to get the tape back into the cassette?
You had to take out all the little film stuff that came out of all the...
How did you do it?
to rip it all out.
No.
Pencil.
You took a pencil.
Took a pencil
that
and
was
rewound it.
an octagon, and you threw the octagon in there, and you twisted that sucker.
Yeah.
About half of the kids had no idea
no
looking
clue
at a
what
cassette
tape
was.
was.
Okay, here's a big one. I mentioned this in the tease. The floppy disk.
Floppy disk.
Yes.
How big was it?
It's a square. That one is more of a square, square shape.
Thick or thin?
Thin, very thin.
Okay, all right. So maybe you've seen a floppy disk.
How big was it? Like
It was it was relatively small.
three, 2.5, 3 inches, something like this.
3 by 3, maybe.
Yeah. No, that's
Yeah,
not floppy disk. The
that-
first ones were 5.
Yeah, 5.5.
5.5 inch
Yeah.
floppy
Some
disks.
tiny ones.
Those of us that went to computer
Yeah.
school in 1980 something.
Yeah,
know
and you were
exactly what a
lucky
floppy
if
disk was.
they held. Most of them were like what, about 128 meg, and sometimes you get a
Oh my
356
gosh!
meg.
Oh, maybe megabytes.
Oh my
yeah.
God. All right. So 67% of the kids had no idea what that was. Overhead projector.
Ooh.
Do you know what an overhead projector is?
It's one of the projectors with I don't know. Teachers used to use them. They
Okay.
got. It's almost like the top of a printer on it.
Okay.
And it's got a projector on it.
Oh my gosh!
You've
He
seen
knows
it.
exactly what it
I've
is.
seen it. Yeah.
I
Dude,
used to have
that's
those-
huge.
You put
Does your dad have one of those too?
Shut up, Andy.
Because he's old, right? I mean, holy crap, dude. That's awesome. Overhead projector.
That was number 2. 71%, almost 3/4 of the kids had no idea what they were looking at. And at number 1, and every drug dealer on the planet had this, it's called a pager. Do you know what a
What's a pager?
What is a pager?
It's
like one of those things with the button that sticks out that you just press at one time.
Nope.
Nope.
Where it's- you-
Nope.
A pager was a little, it was like pre-cell phone, and it was a little block, and you wore it on your hip.
2 inches
and it
by 3
beeped,
inches.
And it beeped, and the phone number of the person that was calling you came up on the pager,
Wow.
and you could call them back. That was pre-cell phone. That was a pager.
Yeah, Caleb, you're not alone. 86% of the kids who saw the picture had no idea what they were looking at.
Number 4.
All right. So I drive an SUV.
Yes, you drive a Porsche. You're very proud of your Porsche. I know you didn't want to talk about it, but you're a Porsche
So
driver.
it's I drive a fun SUV.
fun car.
It's a fun car, right? And yeah, I consider it one of the best sports SUVs on the planet.
Why
Of
are you
course.
envious today?
I'm not envious.
All right.
I'm gonna say I'm not envious. However, it's interesting that. I don't know that my SUV, right? Because I don't drive a Cayenne Turbo, whatever, Turbo S.
Right.
I don't drive the top of the end Cayenne, right? I bought a great model that I love. It is definitely enhanced. It's not new because I don't make that much money.
Right.
I can't afford a $150,000 car. However, I bought an upgraded model that has great styling and then has a lot of power, and I'm cool with it. But the fastest SUV on the planet is a goddamn Nissan.
A Nissan? What is it, a Rogue?
Nissan. It's a Nissan Rogue.
It's like a Nissan Rogue. Okay, I was going to say something Montero or the
SUV. Montero's Mitsubishi.
Oh, okay.
Right, but Nissan,
Murano.
right?
Murano, yeah.
Nissan Murano, the Pathfinder, whatever
Right.
it is, and for some reason, some weird company in England decided to make the Nissan Rogue the fastest SUV on the planet. Now, the factory version of the vehicle cranks out a maximum of 161 horsepower, but the version that Seven Valley Motorsport created puts out 2,000 HP. Now, I gotta say,
wait a minute.
2,000 horsepower.
And I've been in your car. It's pretty fast. What's the horsepower of your car? Do you know?
My car is about 405 horsepower.
2,000.
5 times the horsepower of my car, which, by the way, 2,000 horsepower, faster than any Corvette on the road, any Ferrari, any Lamborghini, any whatever else. So my question, by the way, is why the hell would you do it? Right? I mean,
to compete with a jumbo jet, perhaps?
Dude, I don't know. It's a $16,000 flipping car that you put a 2,000 horsepower motor in, which, by the way, allows that Nissan Rogue to hit 237 miles an hour, which is faster than the takeoff speed of a Boeing 747
Jumbo jet.
right?
I was right.
Holy crap.
Wow.
So, I mean, I don't get it. I mean, yeah, it's neat that they made this big old fast flipping SUV, but at the end of the day, Why?
Yeah.
It's like taking a house that's $100,000 in a shitty neighborhood, making it $1 million home. Who's going to flip and buy it? Nobody, by the way, because the cool factor of a Nissan Rogue
is not there.
Is about 2 compared to the cool factor of a Porsche Cayenne GTS, which is about 9.5.
Number 3.
All right, so number 3, this guy, Joseph James D'Angelo, and that's the only time I'm going to mention his name because he's such a piece of work, was arrested yesterday in Sacramento. Now,
piece of shit.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Caleb, you don't remember this, but just to give you a little bit of background about this guy, Joseph, a DNA case finally led investigators after all this time to arrest this now 72-year-old former police officer.
Oh,
by the way.
Disgrace to the blue line, baby.
He's accused of as many as 12 murders, 50 rapes, and 120 home burglaries between 1976 and 1986. This guy's just been on the run.
My only hope is that he gets to experience rape in prison done on him on multiple accounts. So that son of a bitch.
Yeah, so that story is interesting, but his neighbors don't sound surprised. This is what this guy was like as a neighbor.
Interesting.
An angry man who had a short fuse one time promised his neighbor on the right to deliver a load of death, quote unquote, if he didn't get the damn dog to start barking. He often shouted obscenities around the house and earned the name of Freak in the neighborhood. Kayla, we lived down the street from one of those, by the way. Do you remember that guy?
Oh, yeah.
The little Hitler. One neighbor said, quote, this guy just had an anger that was pouring out of him. He'd be yelling at nothing in his backyard, pacing in circles. By the way, the new DNA technology has definitively linked him to the crimes.
So my question to you is this. Will this dumb son of a bitch or his attorney claim Insanity.
Probably so.
And that's
of course
the unfortunate part.
It's going to be,
Going to the mental hospital.
No, he's not.
PTSD because he was a cop, right?
PTSD because he was a cop or whatever. Don't even get me started on that son of a bitch. Don't let him anywhere near me because I will take him out.
Number 2.
Speaking of taking people out, or I'm not sure how you would caption this, but the leaders of North and South Korea have agreed to officially end the decades-long Korean War by the end of the year. This is from USA Today, but I want to bring up another story that I read today.
Because Trump hasn't accomplished jack shit in his tenure.
Trump hasn't done anything.
No, nothing.
By the way, NBC actually, a story on NBC actually praised President Trump for this accomplishment.
Oh, the humanity.
The humanity, right? Ultimately, and interestingly enough, what they said was if Trump was not the hardline guy that he is, none of this would happen. And I believe him. Basically, what they said was America as a country has elected the right man at the right time because he doesn't take shit from anybody. So despite whatever character flaws people want to throw on this man, ultimately the fact that he doesn't back down has got not only North Korea and South Korea changing their tune, but Putin and the leader of Iran. And I love that about that story.
Yeah.
Granted, they did make it a point to slam our president on his personal whatever.
Look,
anyway,
the real story is that Angela Merkel went to her buddy Kim and said, look, Kim, this guy Don, he's crazy as a lark. He's got his finger on the button. He will annihilate you. Knock it off.
Right.
And there's some truth to that.
No, there is some truth to that. They all know that Donald Trump will not back down, that Donald Trump has the interests of our country above everything and everyone else. And there is some validity to that, and he will. And that's what I love about this man, is the fact that he has America's interest at heart. And despite whatever he says, don't tell me that any man in power... Oh, wait, wasn't Bill Cosby just prosecuted, found guilty of raping women and taking advantage of them? Every man in power has the potential to take advantage of position no matter what.
Number 1.
You brought up Bill Cosby, which is the number 1 story of the past week, obviously. I mean, chime in, hashtag MeTooers. Ever been a victim of sexual harassment at work?
Not me, personally.
Seriously?
But I kind of felt it once.
You have felt it?
Yeah, but a little bit, not really.
I would ask the ladies who are over in their own conversation over there if they've ever been a victim of sexual harassment at work.
You know what?
I mean, Cosby being such an icon and a legend and funny and never had profanity. I mean, it's crazy the antithesis of that is coming out in chorus.
Can I say it?
Yeah, go ahead.
I have not been a fan of Bill Cosby for well over 25 years.
Well,
and I'll tell you the reason.
Okay.
In the early 90s, I was a photographer at Harrah's in Lake Tahoe.
Okay.
Bill Cosby was performing at Harrah's in Lake Tahoe.
Uh-huh.
And as a photographer for the hotel,
right,
I was called to photograph Bill and some of the hotel executives after the show.
Which is commonplace, right?
Commonplace. Standing down in the basement area as he was coming off stage down the stairs, just Bill and his handler. I'm just standing there waiting for this to happen. I've done this multiple times.
Yeah. It's not your first rodeo.
No, it wasn't my first rodeo. The Judds. I had photographed the Judds. By the way, the Judds, Naomi and
Winona.
No, not Winona.
Ashley.
No, so it was Naomi and Winona. Amazing, wonderful women.
Oh, yeah.
As heartfelt and wonderful. Yeah, absolutely fabulous people. So as Bill Cosby's walking down the stairs, I hear him. I can't see him yet. All I hear is, those dumb motherfucker honkies bought every minute of my show.
Wow.
At that moment, I became an un-Bill Cosby fan, and I realized who that true person was. So this guy, by the way, is a piece of shit. Okay? He was as fake as a $3 goddamn bill, and it doesn't surprise me a bit that he was, by the way, old, ugly, fat, whatever, raping women.
And I have stories that would corroborate what you just said, because I know lots of friends who are
racist
limo drivers
motherfucker on the planet
in the Bay Area who have said he wasn't just racist. Allegedly, let's say allegedly here. Cosby,
allegedly.
Yeah, well, you heard it, but my part is allegedly. Allegedly, he wasn't just racist towards white people, but racist towards black people as well.
He was racist toward
everybody.
Yep. All right. What have I been listening to in the past week?
Yes.
So we do, if you haven't listened or heard or whatever, our
music reviews,
which
and interviews.
Our interviews and music reviews are some of the funnest things we do. Not that doing this isn't great too, but I'll say it.
And I think we should do this once a week, where we gotta give some love to one of our
I think we should.
Right?
I think we should. And so for those of you who haven't caught on yet, you know, Jave Patterson has been in the music industry for 30 plus years, because he's old, by the way.
Thanks.
Okay. So anyway,
Jesus Christ.
But because of Jave's relationships and the people that he knows and what he's done over his career, as a person in the music industry, as a music professional,
there's some trust there
in the radio industry, right? And I, as a layman, in this world, and as a product of, or as a benefit, I don't know what you call it, but I am blessed to be able to spend time with people who make their living playing music, because I've been playing music my whole life,
right?
And since I was 3 years old, I've been
just
playing
not
music.
Very well, or else.
No, I suck.
Me too, because we'd both be making a living just doing that.
If we were really, really, really good and we're willing to be poor when we were young, we would be musicians, but we're not. But ultimately, I do totally respect what these men and women go through in their lives as professional musicians.
So who's your props today?
Well, today my props, by the way, are for Adrian and Ryan and the boys at Otherwise. Okay. Because that's what's in my honestly my
car
CD player in my car right now. And it's the new album. And Jay was like, "Oh, so what song stands out?" And honestly, Crocodile Tears really rings true for me. For anybody that's ever experienced heartache and someone who's been deceived by their significant other.
It's a great middle finger song.
It's a middle finger song for sure.
That pretends to be a pop song.
But I have to say, I'm listening to this song now. I got to say that we interviewed Otherwise. Actually, within the last year, I don't know how many months ago it was.
You can see that at 2dudesreviews.com.
2dudesreviews.com, without a doubt. But I gotta at the end of this review, Adrian and I were just talking, and I felt a personal connection with this guy, and then I've had the opportunity over the past year to spend some time with Adrian. And what a phenomenal guy he is. We actually did an acoustic set in my living room after a barbecue.
Yeah.
And it was a great experience. And I love all the guys in the band. And I think they're all really amazing. And so you listen and you hear the heartfelt message from these bands. And you have to really dig in. And you have to really understand what they're going through.
Yeah.
And I always wonder about that. So props to Adrian and the boys at Otherwise.
You're going to go check out some new music. Go check out the new album from Otherwise. It's called...
Oh, gosh, I don't know the name.
I think it's called Waking Lions.
Yeah. Waking Lions, right? I only have the download that we had that pre-release before, so I don't even have the title of the album. I've just got a CD that's burned from the download, but understand that these guys are amazing.
Yeah.
And at the level that they are, I hope for them very much more, and I appreciate those guys, and I love those guys. So right now in my CD player is Otherwise.
Otherwise, all right.
Jay, what's in your CD player right now? Because I got this one too from you, and it's fan-fucking-tastic.
I was going to save this for next week's podcast, but I will just say that there's a band called Under Oath that have been out of the scene for about 9 years now, and they are absolutely stunning. They're amazing. We're going to talk to them in the next week or so. They're working on their tour plans right now. They're in a big warehouse looking at the stage setup. And then we'll do a full album review, and then I'll talk about the record at a future podcast. But mine right now is the Under Oath record.
Really? I got to say, I'm going to bring this out, and you don't even know about it.
Okay.
But the other day I was talking to some guys who were into some hardcore metal, some death metal, some whatever else.
Right.
And I brought up Ghost.
Oh, Ghost.
I brought up Ghost, and they were like, they're all about it. They're like, oh my God, there's a new album.
Oh, yeah.
So if you get a chance, listen to the new album by Ghost.
Yeah. Rats.
The new song is Rats.
Yeah. All right, so look, one final story. The weekend's here. The magical time where you get to do all the things you can't do during the week, or maybe you just don't do during the week. So I saw this list of typical things that people don't do during the week, and I disagree with about 95% of it. So I'm just going to ask everybody in attendance here, yay or nay. Just shout out yay or nay. Drink, meaning alcohol.
Woo!
You only do that on the weekend?
No.
Okay. These are things you only do on the weekend. So drink would be scratch. Sleep in.
No.
Yes.
Only on the weekend.
Only on the weekend. Only on
Not
the
even
weekend.
that.
Right. Wash your car.
No, during the week.
Yeah, during the week.
Car wash.
Okay. Exercise.
Every day.
Dude, if you're just exercising on the weekend, you're missing the point. Forget about it, right?
Well, you're trying to undo the drinking you did.
Yeah, right. The weekends are for drinking. The week is for exercise.
Every day.
See a movie. This is one I can agree with.
Fridays.
I only do on the weekend
Usually
pretty much.
Friday nights.
I won't go and see a movie at a movie theater.
I don't go to a movie theater.
Week,
Fuck that. Choice of money.
Stay up past 11 p.m.
No.
Yeah.
Weekends.
Unless I'm here.
Pretty much
at
this
your
weekend.
house.
Yeah, true. And then finally, do yard work.
What?
Nope. Do yard work all week.
I do yard work all week as well. We are Two Dudes Reviews. You can check out the website, twodudesreviews.com, DOODS. Find us on YouTube. Find us on Twitter, at Two Dudes Reviews. Find us on Facebook. We're all over the place. And if you like what you hear, please become a Patreon.
Support the cause.
Support the cause, man.
Support the cause.
Feed your brothers. We need some crackers. Which we're gonna have right now.
Right now we're drinking tequila.
Have a wonderful week. Talk to you next time.
Cheers.
Thanks for checking out the Two Dudes Reviews podcast channel via podbean.com. Check out more on our website at twodudesreviews.com.